We are not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back. And second podcast of the day. This is going to be the one about the heart condition and the ups and downs associated with that. Again, last night, I don't know, sometime around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, early evening, I just started feeling like shit again. With the nausea and coming with that is like a little bit of lightheadedness. And I don't know if you know that feeling where like your lips start to tingle, or I don't know, you feel like your face isn't getting enough oxygen. Again, going back over the side effects of the medications, and Lord knows the combination, what that is doing. But, yeah, it was several hours after I had taken my morning medications. So now it's just kind of coming and going. This morning, just a little bit of nausea, not a great deal, not like it was a couple of days ago, but pretty much my routine has remained the same. So it's just, it's a crapshoot of what you're going to feel like every day on these medications. So what they're giving me is blood thinner, and I am being given a blood pressure regulator, a very small dose of that, a large dose of atorvastatin, and a baby aspirin, and what else? The other one is a famotidine, which is for heartburn. It's for the GERD condition I already had. Whether or not it's helping, I have no idea. But I take, and then the bupropion. All of those I take, which I'm probably not a good idea to just take them all at one time in the morning, but that's the way I do it. I get up in the morning and I just take all of them. And then 12 hours later, I have to take one more of the blood thinners. And the blood thinner itself, let's see if I can, it is Brilinta, Brilinta. And that's the one that they say I will be on, who knows how long, but they want to change it over to another kind, and I think they said that was Plavix, as far as what would be the long-term maintenance. But short-term, immediately after, the heart procedure and heart attacks, they're going to have me on this Brilinta for however long before they eventually just change it over to Plavix and let me keep going with that. And then eventually, if everything goes well, you're able to come off of that as well. So, talked to my friend Ed, who had some serious heart conditions happen over the last year or so, and he's now off of all of his blood thinners, except for the one baby aspirin, the 81 milligram aspirin you take every day, which I was already taking because I had the peripheral artery disease. So the Brilinta side effects, of course, it's a antiplatelet. It's a blood thinner. So if you get cut, you wind up bleeding, and it doesn't want to stop. So you're going to bleed like a lot longer than normal. You get that. You do get nausea. These are all listed side effects as nausea and dizziness and difficulty breathing, which is lovely. Shortness of breath, bradycardia, resting heart rate under 60 beats per minute. So, yay, diarrhea. So there's all kinds of weird side effects for that. And so if you take those and you mix them up with a large dose of atorvastatin, like 80 milligram, because that's what I'm on. I was on a 20, but they boosted it up to 80 now because, hey, you had a heart attack. So nausea, headache, fatigue, anorexia. I don't think I'm going to have an issue with that. There's side effects of a lot of things that you just can't pronounce, but joint pain, fatigue, stomach issues, myalgia. I don't know. Anyway. And, diarrhea is one of those too. Everything gives you diarrhea. How strange. And so anyway, the blood pressure regulator is metoprolol. I'm only doing like 12.5 milligrams, or they gave me a 25 milligram, and you break it in half, and that's what I'm doing every day just to help regulate things. Don't know how long I'll be on that one either, but that's what we are up against. All these side effects, all of these different drugs that are mixed together in my system, and I just have no way of understanding how to deal with it. They all cause the same symptoms or side effects, and eating before, during, or after doesn't seem to have any effect on it. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to the cardiologist on Tuesday and see, should I be separating some of these meds and taking some of them more in the afternoon instead of all of them in the morning. So maybe, I'm doubling up on some of these side effects. So maybe I start taking the atorvastatin and, the metoprolol in the afternoon, and, take it off of the morning doses, because just taking everything at one time might be too much. To hit my stomach at one time, that's why I'm getting so nauseous. But then what's causing it in the afternoon or in the evenings? Who knows? Anyway, that's the fun. Anyhow, physical exercise. I get to start doing some of that. So, again, my cardiac rehab is going to start on Monday, but this afternoon, today, I want to go into my home gym and get on the treadmill for 5 or 6 minutes and go for a brisk walk, get warmed up, and I'm going to try some light resistance exercises on my weight machine. Very light, not going to put any strain on myself. That's the recommendation from the rehab people, is start off very easy, very light. You don't want to give yourself a really good workout at first. You just kind of want to have a steady, decent workout, nothing that's going to be extreme and put too much pressure on your heart or anything like that. So we're going to work on just getting some exercise today that doesn't involve just walking. And we're going to see how that goes, see how I feel tomorrow, see how I feel afterwards. And I'm going to be allowed to do that on the days that I don't have cardiac rehab. They don't want me to double up on workouts because I'm going to be doing cardio on the cardiac rehab days, and so they don't want me to double up. So on the days that I'm not doing that, I'll be trying to work out a little bit at home. And hopefully I'll be up to like 5 days a week. I want to do something physically active and, try to get back into some form of shape. I haven't put on a whole lot of weight, which is good, but, I've probably, if I wanted to get back into what you might call my fighting weight, I need to lose about, maybe 7 or 8 pounds is all I would need to lose if I wanted to trim down and get, to my optimum, fighting weight. But I don't really have any interest in doing that. The only thing that ever helped me get back into really good physical condition as far as having six-pack abs and being ripped was a keto diet, and that's like the exact opposite of what I should be doing now. It's the exact opposite of what I should have been doing before, and I had to stop doing the keto once the peripheral artery disease was discovered. So, but as far as burning fat and staying trim and ripped, keto worked amazing for me. So it's just kind of how my body's, configured, I guess. The military diet, and I've never really figured that out. I don't know if it's the 30-30-40 or something like that the military gives you. Whenever I was on active duty, or whenever I was on a temporary duty somewhere where I was gone for 30, 60, 90, 6 months, eating the military diet, because I didn't go out and eat a lot whenever I would be at a military facility. I would just take advantage of the free meals at the chow hall 3 times a day, and all the water you can drink. And, you would, in the senior NCO levels, when you go to a school, they don't always do PT in the morning. So sometimes you might do PT 3 days a week, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then in the evenings, you would have nothing to do. So I would just go to the gym and work out, get additional workouts in, like lifting weights. So it would be a lot of calisthenics and cardio stuff on those 3 days in the mornings. And then at night, I would hit the gym, go hit the weights. And whatever it was about that military diet, which I wish I could understand a little better, maybe I'll have to research that, was I would stay trim. I would get trim. I would have abs. And it never felt like I was not eating enough. I mean, they give you a full meal, at their breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they say, here you go. So it worked really well for me, too. I didn't get quite as ripped as on a keto diet, but, I'm sure it could be modified or adjusted here and there, but I would get into really good shape. And I never really understood that because, it seemed like you weren't, taking anything out of your diet other than like a lot of sugars. They would just remove a lot of sugars from your diet. But plenty of protein, plenty of carbs, and plenty of working out. And I would put on weight and put on muscle mass and, trim the fat a little bit. So I don't know how this exercise routine is going to work. I don't know what I'm going to be able to accomplish. I don't know what the results are going to be. I don't know. I was talking to a guy online who I've been social media friends with for a number of years, and he's one of those extreme athletes who does triathlons and, marathons and things like that. And, things that I would never imagine doing. I'm never going to do those things. I never did those things. I never had a desire to do those things. I've never been in that kind of condition. So I know I won't, that's not going to happen. Like I did, sports, but I was a participant. I never really considered myself an athlete. So yeah, I played baseball. I still didn't consider myself an athlete. I was pretty good at baseball. Didn't consider myself an athlete. I was a participant in a sport. Same thing with soccer, wrestling. Wasn't that great of a wrestler, but hey, that little bit of wrestling experience helped me out in jiu-jitsu somewhat when I first started, because I wasn't afraid to be on the ground and things like that. But yeah, wasn't a great wrestler. So, but yeah, I'm not going to become a super athlete. Just because I had a heart attack, now I'm going to change my exercise routine. Besides, my joints just can't handle it. It's just not going to happen. But that's where I am today. A little nauseous, just waiting, because I know it's going to hit me again here in a couple of hours. I'm just going to feel like shit again. And maybe I'll lay down and take a nap. But sometime this evening, I'm going to work out a little bit, and I will give you a recap tomorrow on how that went. So, yeah, we'll catch up with you tomorrow. And until then, everyone, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.